Hi there, this is Craig Beck from StopDrinkingExpert.com. Welcome into the third of my frequently asked question videos about my Stop Drinking course. And today, it's the big question. Do you have to quit drinking completely if you do this course? Scary, right? So a lot of people wonder if their goal is to moderate. Is this course still appropriate to them? Do they have to give alcohol? Look, that decision will always be yours. This is not the sort of program where there is someone saying, well, that's it, you can never drink again, and you're just going to have to deal with that. There's no white knuckling involved in this course. There's no, having to struggle through craving the thing you want the most, but forcing yourself to be a good boy or a good girl. There's none of that because it's not built on willpower. And that's why it's so different. All right. So we'll go into a bit of detail on that. I think one of the strangest questions I get quite often actually is people say to me, Craig, do I have to have stopped drinking before I start the course? No, that would be like going to the doctor and saying, do I have to feel better before I start taking the medicine? This is the medicine. Okay. So the only thing I say is while you're doing the course, be sober. Otherwise you won't take it in, but you can still be drinking when you start the course. And as to whether you want to quit completely or just moderate your drinking, that choice is going to be yours. At no point will you be forced to do that. And in fact, I think it's day 4 when I ask you, are you ready to make a decision? What do you want to do? Do you want to carry on? Do you want to moderate? Do you want to stop completely? So that's a choice for you to make later. The way this course works and the reason it's so effective and it's helped so many people is because it's almost impossible for it not to work on you. Let me explain why. This course doesn't rely on you forcing yourself to avoid alcohol. It's designed to change your programming around alcohol. And you might think, well, that doesn't sound that impressive, Craig. Is that enough? I've been struggling with this for years, decades, and you're telling me I just need to change one little thing here and suddenly it gets easy? It sounds too good to be true. I know that. But look, I can prove it to you really quickly and easily. I'm pretty sure that you're not tempted to use heroin. You probably don't use heroin in your life, right? But why not? If you're drinking alcohol because you want that euphoria, you want that buzz, you want to kick back and relax, or whatever reason you're giving, then use heroin. It's much better. It's a much higher high. It's a much more effective drug. Why aren't you using heroin? And the answer, of course, is your programming is perfectly aligned. You have no temptation to use heroin. You could walk into a room full of people doing it and not be the slightest bit tempted. So all that tells me as your coach is that your programming is perfectly aligned around heroin and out of kilter around alcohol. So what I do in the course, just as soon as you get started, is I shine a spotlight on alcohol. And I take all of your reasons for drinking and I dissect them one by one. And the problem for you is once you do the course, you pass an event horizon. There is no going back. In the same way that you can't unlearn how to swim. Even if you learn to swim when you were 10 years old and now you're 50 and you haven't swam since and you fall in water, you will be able to swim and get out of trouble because you cannot unlearn what you previously learned. And I'm going to teach you things about alcohol that you will never be able to ignore. And this is a bit like Penn and Teller. They come on stage and they do a magic trick and you're amazed. You can't believe what you've just seen. It's absolutely awe-inspiring. You say, wow, that's magic. But then they come back on the stage and they show you, well, this is how we did it. We pulled this lever. There was a trapdoor there. The woman was already in place. And this is how the illusion was performed. Now, from that point forward, until the day you die, even if you live to be 150, you will never be able to see that illusion again and fall for it. You will always know how it's done. You will never again be able to call it magic. And that's what I do. You can choose to start drinking again after you've done my course. But what you will quickly discover is all of your excuses no longer work. You can say, oh, I've had a tough day at work, so I'm going to drink to relax. but you'll know instantly that you're lying to yourself. Essentially, I'm the man that ruins alcohol for you forever. And that's a good thing. Because what happens is you get into a state of mind about alcohol that you currently have about heroin. You look around and you see people drinking and you're like, why would I want to do that? Oh, I can't think of anything worse. Can you imagine the freedom? Can you imagine how that feels to be in a crowded room full of people drinking and be, ugh, no, thank you. That's what this course delivers. That's why it works so well. So the choice will be yours as to whether you want to moderate your drinking or stop drinking completely. But I think you know where this is going. The choice is what we call in psychological terms a presupposition. It appears that you have avenues of choice. But when you've done this course, you're going to get to the mindset of alcohol where you just find it repulsive. You find it, you just don't want it anymore. So hang on to that question. Don't let it paralyze you. Don't let it stop you getting started on the course, because we're going to deal with that. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video.